Hi everybody, this is Victoria, British Columbia, home of the 2011 BMO Canadian Figure Skating Championships. We are inside the Save-On Centre at Victoria, British Columbia, home of the 2011 BMO Canadian Figure Skating Championships. It's going to be a great weekend of competition, live all weekend long. With me, I'm PJ Kwong, and I am thrilled to be sitting beside all weekend long as well, three-time Canadian champion Josée Chouinard. Josée, welcome to Bold, and thank you for coming.
My pleasure, PJ.
So let's get started and let's talk about the skating that we're going to see today. There are going to be 3 sets of short programs that we're going to see. So let's start by talking about ice dance. So there's one very notable exception, not here for the ice dance event. Who is that, Josée?
Well, Tessa Virtue and Scott Moore. She went under surgery. Unfortunately, we heard last Thursday that they had made a decision as a team that the choreography was not quite ready as the Olympic champion. It's credentials for them, like to show up on the first time and have the best chance, the best performance. So the decision was out on Monday at the press conference that they will not be participating at the Nationals.
But the good news is that they are hoping to be at the Four Continents Championships next month in Taipei, and then of course the World Championships in Tokyo in March. So with Tessa Virtue and Scott Moyer not here, who are the big names to watch out for? Well, I'm thinking it's going to be a real horse race between 2 teams in particular. I don't know if you remember, but last year, Point 3 is what separated the team that went to the Olympic Games, Vanessa Krohn and Paul Poirier, who are the reigning national silver medalists, and the team who ended up as Four Continents champions, Caitlin Weaver and Andrew Poget. It's going to be a really interesting horse race. Let's start first by taking a look at Vanessa Krohn and Paul Poirier. They have been making a huge name for themselves this year. They earned bronze at the Grand Prix final. This is the free dance. Can you tell me who choreographed this free dance?
Well, this was choreographed by Christopher Dean. I think it's nice to see Vanessa, especially 3 years from the next Olympics, like trying to get a different style, a different repertoire for them. This is the time to grow, and you have a great period of time where between the Olympics that you need to develop and test out different styles.
Now, Weaver and Poget, speaking of growth, I cannot believe how much stronger they've gotten this year, how much faster. This is their free dance as well. They were the Canadian bronze medalists, but Four Continents champions. Now, what have you noticed in terms of improvement this year?
Well, what I have noticed from them is they're solid. They're very solid. Their skating skill, their speed, it's impressive. When you're in the venue, you can really feel the wind as they're coming through the boards.
And that's going to make this a real horse race. Now, there are a couple of names that we also want to remember. That is this team, Karis Ralph and Asher Hill. Last year, they were 4th at Canadians. This is their summertime free dance, which I really enjoy. I love the personality and the connection between the two. They're looking for a podium finish this year. And I think there's one other team that we have to make mention of, and that is Alexandra Paul and Mitchell Islam. They were junior world silver medalists this year in their first season, and also junior national champions. She had a bit of a problem with a muscle injury, causing her to withdraw from the second Grand Prix that they were in. They are the wild card.
I think they are the wild card. They are known for their ability. They're young. There's no pressure. They're just going forward right now. They don't have to look back. And this is very, could be tricky at nationals because this is where the pressure comes on.
Now speaking of looking back, you're leading me into all kinds of cool things. Let's look back to the women's champion. So let's talk a little bit about who the champion is and what she's not doing this year.
Well, Joanie Rochette will not be at these nationals. She's taking a year off, actually well-deserved. But this is the year for Cynthia Phaneuf to regain her title. It has been 7 years since Cynthia has won this national title, and she is ready, determined. There's nothing less than a gold medal that she wants to bring home.
Cynthia Phaneuf has said, go gold or go home. Basically, 2004 national champion, 3-time silver medalist, is looking to reclaim the title here. She is going to be ably challenged, however, by Amélie Lacoste. Tell me a little bit about Amélie.
Emily has had a great international season. She's had her first international Grand Prix medal. She's in the race. She's very determined. She's probably the one that has shown the most aggressivity, actually, to leading into this season.
She also has the highest total point score of the Canadian women competing at nationals. The other name that we're going to take a look out for is Myriam Sanson.
Myriam Sanson is probably the most consistent skater in the field. She has the grace, also the power in the technical side. So this is a great combination. Reminds me what Joanie when she was growing, and I think there will be a great competition in the ladies because some of them have learned a lot, and she's bringing the consistency.
So let's talk about the pairs now. Jessica Dubé and Bryce Davison. What do you know?
Well, unfortunately, Bryce injured himself during the fall season and couldn't get to Skate Canada. So now he's gone under surgery and has to take some time to recuperate. What I like about this team is they have kept their single skater skating. Jessica Dubé will be skating in the ladies' event, and the momentum is very important for those skaters.
Especially for the recovery.
That's right. So I think what Jessica is doing right now is just keeping the momentum, and it will make it easier for Bryce to come back.
Now, Kirsten Moore-Towers and Dylan Moskovich are the Cinderella story of the season. They're probably the favorites going into this competition because of their they earned a berth at the Grand Prix final. Now, Kirsten and Dylan took that last-minute replacement spot for Skate Canada, which gave them a second Grand Prix, where they medaled. They took the silver medal, and they are definitely on track. I've had sources saying that they're practicing very well, but they're going to be challenged by a couple of teams, notably Mylène Brodeur and John Matatal, very seasoned competitors. You may remember a couple of seasons ago that they were bronze medalists. They placed 4th a year ago. Then there's also a very exciting young team, Paige Lawrence and Rudy Swiegers. They exploded onto the scene this year. The seniors did very, very well at Skate Canada. They were national bronze medalists a year ago. Now, one team I do want to make mention, Megan Duhamel and Eric Radford, a brand new team this year, although both skaters skated as seniors, as you know, with other competitors. What do you think about them?
Well, they're both very strong, technically single skaters. So now I think the challenge for them is to bring those two individual skaters and skate as a team, as one. So I think that will be their challenge.
On paper, it's going to be a very exciting competition. You're not going to want to miss a minute. Don't forget, live chat with me, questions for me and Jose, and we will be back in just a very little bit with our first event, the Paris Short Program. Here is the start list for the Paris Short Program. Skating first, Alexis Gélina and David Struthers, followed by Jade Savannah Gaudin and Andrew Evans, then Noémie Arsenault and Simon-Pierre Côté. Then in our second group, Margaret Purdy and Michael Marinaro, and Megan Duhamel and Eric Radford, followed by Brittany Jones and Curtis Gaskell. In our final group of competitors, Kaylee Hole and Adam Johnson, followed by Paige Lawrence and Rudy Swiegers, Kirsten Moore-Towers and Dylan Moskovich, and our final competitors, Mylène Brodeur and John Matatal. Well, and off we go with the first of 10 teams competing for a new Canadian title. Pair Short Program. First up are going to be Alexis Gélina and David Struthers. She's from Trois-Rivières. He's from Charbot-Lake. Coached by Patrice Arquetto, and their choreographer is Arseny Markov.
Arseny Markov represented Canada in the dance event, skated with Chantal Lefebvre, and did touring with Skate the Nation. So I got to know them very well, and I must say they were very, very artistic, theatrical.
So this is their first season as a team. They're skating to Within. just to refresh everybody's memory, 7 elements, reduced down from 8 in pair short program as well as women's and men's. Scores stayed basically the same because the component scores have more room to breathe, is how it was best explained to me by choreographer Lori Nicol.
They've only been partnering for 6 months. He had skated pairs for 9 years. Here's the triple toe, very well succeed. But she is brand new to pairs, PJ.
It's very impressive. She says she loves the throw, so let's see what happens. Here comes the twist.
Here's the smile.
The lasso lift is the required lift.
With the variation. Little struggle. And you see it in the mohawk of the men.
Doubling a planned throw triple loop.
I didn't think they had a lot of speed with the difficult entry that they went into.
A variation of free leg position going into this back inside death spiral.
Took a little long to get to the low position.
Some difficulty achieving the unison that they require for like the best possible side-by-side spins.
David Struthers got really inspired this year reading the book of Zhen and Zhao. He said that it was really inspiring for him this year.
Perfect. That was Alexis Juilina and David Struthers. A very good first effort, I think, for their first trip to Senior Canadians.
Mesdames et messieurs, représentant le Montreal Figure Skating Club du Québec, Alexis Juilina et David Struthers.
Alexis is only 17 years old. I mean, to show that kind of composure, considering they've only been skating together for 6 months, I think that they've got room to grow. He's 22 years old, by the way.
It's always nice to have the first program out of the way. I think you're going to relax a little bit more into the long program. The first program, the first time out there, as we said, she's brand new into the pairs, so there was a lot of thinking while they were skating. We're going to see the side-by-side
triple toe. They're nice and close together on the takeoff and very secure landings on both jumps, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, technically, and the timing of it was very nice.
Now there's the double twist. They profit from, what do you think? What would have improved
Just a
that
little bit
element?
more explosiveness at the top.
And the throw?
And the throw, well, obviously, in order to be at the top of the nationals, you need the triple. So she was a little bit outside the circle on the takeoff, and it was probably a good decision to do the double. Here's Patrice Arquetel.
That's the thing about skating, a small
I went
world.
home, grand, grandpa, tout le monde Montréal, grand-mère, grand-papa, toute la famille strutteuse. Woo!
It's too much.
Bye.
Regarde-moi, Galaxy quand vous êtes dans le salon. Ouais.
Hey, the twist, it looks like a
Ouais,
good
c'est good.
Pas bien pour 6 mois ensemble.
The scores, please. For Alexei Zhilina and David Struthers. The short program score, 39.38.
39.38.
Alexei and David are currently in first place.
Ouais, mais ça.
Mais est-ce que là, la rentrée trop vite? Non, je suis pas prête.
Les prochains concurrents, représentant le club de patinage artistique de Saint-Léonard du Québec, Jade Savannah Godin et Andrew Evans.
This is Jade Savannah Godin and Andrew Evans. Skating to Stella's theme, coached by Richard Gauthier and Bruno Marcotte. Short program choreographers Valérie Sorette, Sylvie Fulham, and Julie Marcotte.
That's unusual to have 3 choreographers for one program.
I think that they each had their own elements. They were 4th at the challenge event.
We'll step up and with the blocks.
They only got together 4 months before last year's Nationals, where they placed 11th. I like the height on that twist. I'd like to maybe see a bit more speed.
The step sequence. Working more the edges. Those are the difficult turns, brackets followed by loops. Rocker.
Might like to find a little bit more unison again on those side-by-side spins.
This is the lasso lift with the transition.
Good ice coverage on the part of Andrew. Nice clean mohawks as they go across the ice and some good speed.
Felt secure. -3 on the fall. Throw triple sow.
And plus a deduction for the fall.
They look poised. That's what I liked about them. They actually had a great connection throughout the program. Maybe just missing a little bit more aggressivity, a little bit more power. It looked a little slow and a little far apart at times.
This is Jade Savannah Godin and Andrew Evans. She's originally from Rivière-du-Loup. He's originally from Etobicoke, Ontario, suburb of Toronto, and they represent Saint-Léonard. The other thing that I thought that they had going for them was a fairly quick recovery. Now, this is their twist. What would you like to see more of?
A little bit more height, and to me, it's more the angle of the lady. When she rotated, she was a little bit more parallel to the ice.
Now, on that throw triple sow, where do you think that it went wrong?
On the throw triple sow, I think she was a little slow on the takeoff. That back inside edge all the way to that toe pick was never complete.
And then she looked to me like she maybe dropped a little bit of that right shoulder in the air, too. Valerie Sorette, many people will know her as a former senior pairs competitor, along with Jean-Sébastien Fecteau.
That's right.
Me too. I can say it.
And she has been coaching skating since she retired from the competition.
We were fast. Like going into the last 200.
So you can speak to this. What is the difference between coaching and waiting at the boards as a coach and being a skater and waiting at the boards?
I think the biggest difference is you can't do anything about it. You say your last bit to the skater. You have given everything you can, and you want to do more. When you're the skater, you're in control. You know if you're okay or if you're not okay. You can speak up. As a coach, you only have to look for those signs. Is my skater okay? Should I let it go?
So let's see what the judges have to say. 41.81. So this will move Jade Savannah-Godin and Andrew Evans into the lead, with 8 more teams to come.
No big deal.
Représentant l'équipe de patinage artistique Axel Dalma et de Lévis, du Québec, Noémie Arsenault et Simon-Pierre Côté.
This is Noémie Arsenault and Simon-Pierre Côté, coached by Richard Gauthier and Bruno Marcotte. Their choreographer, Julie Marcotte, and they're skating to music from Il Postino. They were 3rd at the challenge event, placed 12th a year ago in senior pairs. Both are from Lévis, Quebec.
Well executed.
That double twist had some nice hang time in the air.
Triple toe side by side. A little distance, but very well landed. Really nice height on that throw triple loop. And the distance, you can see that she had so much flow out because of the distance in the jump.
Plus choreographically interesting going in. I like the variations of position in this lasso lift.
Variation going into the death spiral. They're actually getting me into the program. They're more relaxed and feeling the music, as I'm saying, and she's struggling into the change of foot of her combination spin.
But overall, the impression is very lyrical and very light. I like it too. first impression, what do you think?
Well, it kept my attention. That's what I liked. I think they were more powerful. The jumps were a lot higher. They did a little struggle in the combination spin, but I kind of enjoyed the whole program.
I did too. This is Noémie Arsenault and Simon-Pierre Côté.
She really looked like she enjoyed the skate.
I know. Isn't that, when you have that quality in the performance, that makes me think, wow, you seem to like this, you seem to like doing this as much as I like watching it. That's really an accomplishment, I think.
Comme Richard, Richard was saying, just a little spin. This is the triple toe that we're just seeing right now side by side.
And what you liked, you said before, was the height and the sort of commitment to it. Here's that throw.
Beautiful. She was so on her axis in the air. There was no doubt that this jump was going to be easy to land.
Now again, he has a very strong ability to keep her in the air in the lift. I was a little bit distracted by the snow coming off his blades on his mohawks.
But I think it's because his balance was a little bit on the outside. His arm was a little far from his head, and she gets a little heavier when it gets on the outside.
That whole momentum thing we were talking about.
Exactly. You could see when she was coming down, like he had to bring her down a little faster.
So our score to beat right now is 41.81. The leaders are Jade Savannah-Godin and Andrew Evans.
C'est ça, quand ça arrive, j'ai comme un petit peu d'avance, c'est vrai? Ouais. Je sais qu'on était un petit peu plus près, c'est quand
The scores, please, for Noémie Arsenault and Simon-Pierre Côté. The short program score, 46.44.
They take over the lead by quite a large margin, 46.44.
Almost 5 points.
Yes. So, current standings, Arsenault and Côté are in the lead, followed by Godin, Evans, and then Jelena and Struthers. Two more groups of competitors still left to compete in the pair short program. Getting ready to take the ice, Group 2. Now, the dark horse that we were talking about as we were getting ready to start the events will be the second team to skate. But skating first are Margaret Purdy and Michael Marinaro, followed by Megan Duhamel and Eric Radford, and then Brittany Jones and Curtis Gaskell. What I noticed first are elegant costumes.
The next competitors from the Watford Figure Skating Club and
I have to agree with you.
Skating Club in the Western
This is
Ontario
sophisticated.
section.
It's really
Please
nice.
welcome Margaret Purdy and Michael Marinaro.
I like they're already in the character.
2010 junior national champions, coached by Scott Ratchuk and Allison Perkis. Allison Perkis responsible for the choreography. At the challenge, they placed second. They had two junior Grand Prix events this year. Czech Republic, where they placed 9th, and Great Britain, where they placed 10th. They were also 8th in Junior Worlds, skating to Fuente y Caudal by Paco de Lucia.
Opening with the first element, twist lift.
Very fast rotation.
Side-by-side triple saga.
Now she'll get a 1 point, or the team will get a 1 point deduction for the fall on that triple salto. Both jumps appear to be fully rotated.
that lasso lift didn't go up. They're going to have to regroup.
Now, in the case of an element that just does not happen, they don't have the opportunity to do it again. It's as if it's already been skated, but they will not get any points for it.
Okay, they're back. Throw triple sow. And you're right, PJ. The reason is because they had an entry to the lasso lift.
It was already started.
I like the lines. Now they can get the crowd with them now.
So Margaret Purdy and Michael Marinaro, she's 15 years old, he's 19. They've got lots of time.
Ladies and gentlemen,
From Strathroy
from the
and
Watford
London,
Skating Club
Ontario.
and Point Edward Skating Club in Western Ontario, Margaret Purdy and Michael Marinaro.
Coached by Scott Ratchuk and Alison Purkis at the Competitive Skating Center of Strathroy. More than anything, I think that what I saw was a junior team that just hit the ice as seniors for the first time and had a bit of, I don't know how I got here, which sometimes we see with the junior competitors who are making that first move. You see the potential, you see the promise.
I was going to say, you see the potential. You see also the choreography was there. They just didn't perform it. It just didn't connect today. But I could tell you that maybe another day that program would have worked for them.
The twist was their opening element, side-by-side triple cell. She just didn't have the follow-through on that free foot on the landing.
No, I don't think she really got the jump before the rotation. And here it is. I think she didn't really push again. Similar, the same mistake as the triple cell side, the jump side-by-side.
Sometimes if you lose focus in that little split second, and we saw in the warm-up that Michael was very, very tense almost as he was going. So, and he had that little bit of a collision with another skater, which may have thrown him off a little bit. I think it's definitely a learning experience. I think that we're going to see lots more from this team as time goes on. Scott Ratchuk on the left of your ski now, Alison Purkis on the right.
Yeah.
The scores, please, for Margaret Purdy and Michael Marinaro. The short program score, 37.28.
37.28.
Margaret and Michael are currently in fourth place.
Ils sont présentement en 4e place.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Walden Skating Club in Quebec, Megan Duhamel and Eric Radford.
This is Megan Duhamel and Eric Radford. Now this is a team that is going to be very, very interesting to watch. They just came together. They describe each other as being best friends. She loves coming to the rink to train. She's originally from Lively, Ontario.
I saw Megan training many times, and she trains with a smile on.
Absolutely. First at this year's challenge event. They came fourth at Skate Canada, third at Nebelhorn. Skating to 4-1 voice. Choreographer is Julie Brault. They're coached by Richard Gauthier and Bruno Marcotte.
always was a very powerful skater, Megan. One thing that she has worked really hard in the last couple of years was her presentation and maturity. What a height. What I love. We saw the split and we saw the rotation after, which is very important.
On that triple Lutz twist, that was great. In fact, all three of their jump kind of elements are in fact planned to be Lutzes. But this looks to be more to be like a setup of side-by-side triple toes. She doubled hers. Did you see that?
She doubled. She kind of doubted herself in the last second because she was leaning so far forward. She didn't have the lift off the takeoff.
Eric is able to get her very easily into the air for that lasso lift.
She is reaching out to the audience. Beautiful throw, triple L's. Looked so easy. As much as it is a difficult element, it's all in the timing, and you can see that it was done effortless because the timing was right.
I like the degree of execution and sophistication that I am seeing in this step sequence.
Better synchronization in the combination spin.
Unique and innovative entry into that back inside death spiral.
Well, I must say, I'm impressed with this new team. I know that they came in with a lot of experience on their own, but together it wasn't obvious that they were going to skate as a team, and they did.
Megan Duhamel and Eric Bradford.
She's upset about the triple toe because it's one of her strengths.
Well, and these two skaters, in fact, can do side-by-side triple Lutzes. So, but the competition's not over until the competition's over.
You can only control your skating. You don't control the others skating.
They're a nice match on the ice. I like the fact that they're both very strong single skaters. I think that's what they were trying to capitalize on in this competition.
But as much as their technical part was very strong too, I think they have shown that they have matured, they have grown, they are utilizing the surface of the ice a lot more and reaching out, projecting more than they did before. Even though they were not a team before, but with their previous partners.
Very, very athletic team here, the side-by-side jumps. It was just a very strange entry even into that side-by-side triple toes. She doubled hers, which means the team only gets credit for the double. And the wonky landing that she had will also diminish the level that will be assigned to him.
That's right.
Exact same toe I've done.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad.
You know, in some ways, when skaters have a disappointment like this, like she's talking about her triple toe again,
Amelia.
just makes them go out and really skate that free program. I mean, we've seen it time and time again.
You know, it reminds me too, like when you want it so badly, you try a little harder than you would on a normal day. And it seems like this is what happened. Like she was going with, you know, a little bit of a cautious, but wanted it so bad that she leaned forward and put so much energy at the wrong time.
They will take a decisive lead, though, with a score of 57.71 points. I think that that's due in some large part to the fact that they have a higher degree of quality in their technical elements as well as their program components.
And a higher degree of difficulty, too.
Absolutely.
Ladies and gentlemen, the next competitors from the Kitchener-Waterloo Skating Club in Western Ontario, Brittany Jones and Curtis Gaskell.
Now, this team is in its 4th competitive season, and what's interesting, and they're still eligible for this year's Junior Worlds team.
So we are looking at Brittany Jones and Curtis Gaskell. Placed 6th in the Junior Grand Prix final. At Junior Worlds last year, they were 7th, as well as 9th in Nationals. Skating to music, The Day Will Dawn. Choreographers are Marina Zueva and David Wilson. They're coached by Lee Barkel.
First year. Beautiful.
I love the quick rotation on that twist.
Nice split, too. Side jump, double axel, hard fought, fall to recover. You can see she maybe lost her breath. Lasso lift.
Now that was a long time getting up into the air, that lift. A real testament to his strength.
Throw triple loop.
I think there's a nice degree of musicality in the step sequence.
Not only the costume, but the skating had a lightness.
A joie de vivre.
Joie de vivre.
I really liked it too. Brittany Jones and Curtis
Ladies
Gaskell.
and gentlemen from the Kitchener-Waterloo Skating Club, Brittany Jones and Curtis Gaskell.
This opening twist, look at that fast rotation in the air. Now what went wrong here in the side-by-side double axels?
There was a little too much leaning forward.
That fall will result in a 1-point deduction. Back on track though. Yeah, beautiful throw triple loop. I liked her aerial position, very upright.
I don't know about you, but it reminded me a little bit of the quality that Ekaterina Gordeva and Sergey Ginkov had just on the setup of that throw triple loop.
I think you're right.
The scores, please, for Brittany Jones and Curtis Gaskell. The short program score, 48.36.
Very respectable score of 48.36.
Ils sont présentement en deuxième place.
I'm here with José Chouinard. Are you excited about this last fight?
I am very excited.
It's been a good competition so far. In the lead, Megan DeHamel and Eric Radford with a score of 57.71 points.
Oh my god. The Iceman idea.
The order of skate for this final short program warm-up group. Skating first, Kaylee Hole and Adam Johnson, followed by Paige Lawrence and Rudy Swiegers, then Kirsten Moore-Towers and Dylan Moskovich, and the final competitors will be Mylène Brodeur and John Matitol. Now, what is so interesting about this pairs competition is that anybody's game, really. It's anybody's to take, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, the Canadian champions, Jessica Dubé and Bryce Davison, are out of competition. Bryce is recovering from surgery. And did I mention he's going to come in and talk to us? I'm quite excited about that.
You did.
So, pairs title, really up for grabs. Let's go through a little bit about sort of who's who and what's what. So, Kaylee Hole and Adam Johnson.
Yes, this team is buyed into the final flight because it was based on the Grand Prix entry and placement of last season.
And what a bye means is that they did not have to qualify by coming through the challenge event. Our first competitors in this final group, Kaylee Hole and Adam Johnson. She's 17, he's 22, from Virgin and Brandon, Manitoba, coached by Scott Ratchuk and Allison Perkis. Skating to Corteo. Now, at the challenge, they finished in 5th place. At last year's national championships, they finished in 7th. Allison Perkis has a lovely way of choreographing programs that include a certain amount of character development, which I really like.
She uses facial expression too, and it's hard when you're concentrating about the technical to actually utilize facial expression. That means you have to communicate something to the crowd.
And when it happens, it's magical.
Beautiful. Leaning a little bit too far forward, though, in the rotation from her part.
We forget how fast that rotation is on that triple Lutz twist.
Triple side by side and little deduction with the hands down. Variation in the lasso lift.
She's got beautiful carriage of her back in the lifts too.
Nice. Just a little more check on the landing would have facilitated and smoothened out that landing, that outside edge.
And what we're talking about check is stopping that rotation on that landing edge, but that knee bend really helped her hold on to it.
Well, the goal was to get a level 4. I'm pretty sure they did get their level 4 on that combination spin.
Levels, of course, are evaluated by the technical panel, who determine what was done, and then the judges are able to evaluate how well it was done.
Nice and low on the position for the death spiral.
I thought that it had a youthful charm to this program. Kaylee Hole and Adam Johnson.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Skate Burton Chatham Figure Skating Clubs in
Well, there was
Western
a story
Ontario,
behind this
Kaylee Hole
program, and they carried it through the whole program, and it is challenging for the skaters to be as performer as they are going to be athletic. Good for them.
Kaylee, 17, Adam's 22 years old. They've been skating together since 2009. The goal is to make the national team this year. They want to eventually become national champions and compete on the world team and on the Olympics. All very worthy goals.
Streams are better, right? Yeah, they were.
When you have the Olympics so close to home, it's just amazing how, like, you can feel, you can touch it. It becomes a little bit more of a reality. I want to be there.
That's good skate. That's the best one.
You can overhear Scott Ratchuk saying it was a good skate.
You're here.
Hi, we're back at home. Hi, Grandma.
Good? Yeah. Just on your last turn.
Hey, Matt. I'd say hi.
There's always a chance in the kiss and cry area to say hi to the loved ones, the family, and especially the ones that have supported you. Here's the throw,
The twist.
the twist, sorry.
Well, that's
The
okay.
twist.
I love the height and the speed going into that element. Great sense of attack.
They also had it a variation on the landing of the twist.
Now, did you notice that she didn't seem to uncurl her free leg quickly enough on that triple sal?
No, a little heavy on the left side, which is the weak side when it's the free leg. So, from on the landing.
Remarkable strength, though, that they showed on the landing of that throw. The way that she was able to hold on to that, good for her. Score to beat, 57.71, held by Megan DeHamel and Eric Bradford. They just squeak into second place by a margin of 0.35 ahead of Brittany Jones and Curtis Gaskell, who stay in third place. Hole and Johnson in second. 3 more teams still to skate.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next competitors from the Baroda Figure Skating Club in Saskatchewan, Paige Lawrence and Rudy Swiggers.
Paige Lawrence and Rudy Sweekers, they're coached by Patricia Hole, who's the mother of the skater Kaylee Hole we just saw. Very impressive at Skate Canada. They're skating to music from City Slickers, from Kennedy, Saskatchewan. And Kipling, Saskatchewan originally. 20 and 23 years old. They've been skating together since 2005. Choreographer for the short program, Carol Lane and Yuris Razgulaevs. Very quick snap. into that triple Lutz twist.
Triple sal.
Was his fully rotated? Did you happen to notice?
It will count for fully rotated triples, but there was a little bit of a struggle on the landing because there was a tiny bit of under rotation there. Variation in the combination spin.
And good unison, the way that they were spinning. Good changes of position at the same time.
Lasso lift, variation, another variation.
And look at the great ice coverage and the very interesting dismount out of that lift.
Nice arch.
And the change of handhold will enhance the difficulty of that element.
Find holding footworks, maybe because I was a single skater, is more difficult.
Great sense of energy throughout the program.
I was going to say they're utilizing the music so well. There's a nice build-up and the throw, the twist.
It was a triple Lutz throw. Twist. Wonderfully done. Charming though, energetic. You know, we talked about it before the event started. You're going to have to come out and skate.
That's right. And they did.
They sure did.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Wawota Figure Skating Club in Saskatchewan, Paige Lawrence and Rudy Sweeger.
Lots of energy throughout the program.
I love the exuberance, and it was almost like looking at it, okay, that's done. Let's move on to the next thing. It's fun to watch. I've heard Canadians described as kind of like a family reunion. What do you think?
Once you gotta put that toe down. No, a little bit. Right top. Okay. Great last time. Okay. Toe is really pinchy. Maybe there's a little sideways. A little tight,
Pinchy. That's a word we haven't heard to describe the toe before, but it's a perfect word because it was a little bit tight on the landing.
That one's mine,
Lyndon
those
Johnson.
Mine are the red and blue ones right there.
What side do you want?
What do you feel on that toe? Left or like just right here. I thought the left was right here.
The twist, I was a little bit nervous though. I was really quick.
I felt coming around the corner of your toe, like I was just pulling back a little bit.
Pulling back?
Yeah, so on the mohawk I pushed out and I really pumped again.
Beautiful height on that twist. Great speed. Now there's the side-by-side toes. Do you know what?
Triple toe.
Looked to me like maybe he was a little short on that takeoff edge. Maybe he needed a little
To me,
second longer.
that's right. He didn't actually hit the toe pick as well.
That throw, beautifully done though.
Efficient. I found that she was very efficient, tight on the way in.
They're cute, adorable. What I also like is the fact that the music
Hey,
is
Grandma Lil,
perfectly
sorry you couldn't
appropriate
be
for
here.
young
We love
people.
you.
For Paige Lawrence and Rudy Sweeters, the short program score, 59.
In first place. I was going to say, I think we're going to remember these faces.
I think we will too. So
First place.
Ils sont présentement en première position.
59.38 is the current score to beat.
Coached by Lyndon Johnson, world medalist with Cindy Landry.
That's right. And Patricia Hull on the
That's
left.
Ladies and gentlemen, the next competitors from the Kitchener-Waterloo Skating Club in Western Ontario, please welcome.
So Lawrence and Sweeters in the lead, followed by Duhamel and Radford, and then Hole and Johnson in third. This, though, is Kirsten Moore-Towers and Dylan Moskovich. They're going to be skating to Zorba's dance from Zorba the Greek. Choreographer Mark Pillay. Now they have a great sense of energy and great sense of attack. They're coached by Chris and Christy Wirtz.
And Chris has kept his team focused on the performance, not the result.
She's 18, he's 26 years old.
First element.
Wow. Great height, great speed. Wow covers it.
As much speed on the way out as it was on the way in, and now the triple toe side by side, well executed. No time to think. That was a very fast piece of music.
She has beautiful extension in this lift, as well as the nice variations of position.
She looked really light up in the air. Variation into the throw. Throw triple loop. Well done. Distance in the jump, a little bit of a lean on the landing, but when you have that height and distance,
And she obviously has great knees, which help support that landing edge.
and now they've got the crowd with them cheering.
Nice speed maintained throughout the variations of position.
And they got their count of rotations. Well, that was a clean skate.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Kitchener-Waterloo Skating Club in Western Ontario, Kristen Moore-Towers.
This is the second skate,
and
clean
Moskovich.
skate of the evening.
That's true. And I think that what has given Kirsten Moore-Towers and Dylan Moskovich that little extra edge of confidence was the fact that, you know, they had one Grand Prix event, and because Jessica and Bryce were not able to go to Skate Canada, they turned that panic-ridden opportunity into something quite wonderful. They medaled there, medaled at Skate America, and then went to the Grand Prix final. So I think that once you go to the Grand Prix final, that in many ways seems to be the way that people can really see that they've arrived.
It's another level of competitors, really. When you're on that international scene and you make it in the top 7 team that is going to the Grand Prix final, or 6 teams, so it's another, you've gone up in the rankings.
Excuse me?
She gets mad when I don't use it for my guards.
down.
That was Yahtzee.
This competition means a lot to Chris Wirtz and Christy. Of course, Chris wants them to win, but he said it was always with brother Paul at his side that he won. So now I think it means a lot thinking of his brother and achieving what his brother has achieved as a coach.
From us, when you hit your runs, that's it was
Yeah.
Paul Wirtz, Chris Wirtz's brother, passed away some years ago, but was definitely one of the leaders in terms of pair coaching in Canada. Chris and wife Christy have continued that legacy.
Now based in Kitchener-Waterloo.
Now, Dylan Moskovich used to skate with his sister, who because of injuries just was not able to continue. And he wasn't sure sort of what would happen and just kept looking for a partner, and he really found the right one. Now, what do you think about this opening twist?
Well, I love the height. There was much distance between his hands and her body, which is very good. Takes in consideration.
A little bit
Not a lot of steps into right away the triple toe side by side.
Now that speaks to their muscle memory, being able to hold on to the landing of those side-by-side jumps. And there she is a little on the side, but still, that throw triple loop.
There's fight. I think what we were talking about, it's all in the mental toughness, and they were there. They were there to skate well. No matter what, the takeoff is not perfect. Doesn't matter, I'm landing it.
Hey, Mishash, Kier. Love you guys.
Hi, Katie. Oh, what's that? They're not announcing.
64.73.
Well, high five. Woo!
They take over the lead. We're looking at the face of the new leaders, Kirsten Moore Towers and Dylan Moskovich.
Oh, they're there.
The scores, please, for Kirsten
One team still to go.
and Dylan Moskovich.
Veteran competitors Mylène Brodeur and John
The short
Matachal.
program score, 64.73 points.
64.73.
Kirsten and Dylan are currently in first place.
Ils sont présentement en première place.
I don't think we can count them out of the competition. They're one of the contenders for the title. So they're the last to skate. They may rise up to the occasion. The crowd is hot.
Do you know what? They're wonderful pair skaters, Mylène Brodeur and John Matachal. Choreographer is Julie Marcotte. Coaches are Richard Gauthier and Bruno Marcotte. They train at Saint-Léonard, and they're skating to My Way.
Why not? My
Yeah.
way.
Why not? Exactly. Seems to be a tiny delay. It's interesting. Normally, once the marks come out, the next thing
Ladies
that
and
happens is the
gentlemen,
announcement,
mesdames et
which we're
messieurs,
hearing.
les derniers concurrents représentant les clubs de patinage artistique de Saint-Léonard and the Tatamagouche Figure Skating Club from Nova Scotia, Mylène Brodeur et John Matachal.
There's something to be said for experience, and this team is extremely experienced. Fourth in last year's Nationals. They were third the year before. They have lots of international competitions under their belt. And they have a lovely connection on the ice as well. Great height on that twist. Didn't you like the speed?
Very
going in?
nice. I like her lean too up in the air. Triple toe side by side. She hang on. It was a little bit rotated outside the circle, and she hang on to it. Great strength. Throw triple loop, a little touchdown.
It almost looked like they didn't get the height that they normally get on that element.
plank camel, back sit, change of foot into a camel spin, and a cannon position into the sit spin. On one foot going into the death spiral, nice and low.
And a change of hand enhancing the difficulty. It's those little details that really show the difference between the more seasoned and less experienced teams.
That's right.
Great ice coverage. He had wonderful speed throughout all of the Mohawks in that lift.
Used as much as 3/4 of the length of the ice.
Another really solid skate. What a great event. This is Mylène Brodeur and John Mattertall.
Ladies and gentlemen, mesdames et messieurs, des clubs de patinage artistique de Saint-Léonard et Tatamagouche from Nova Scotia, Mylène Brodeur and John Mattertall.
I even got my little run in at the end. I almost took the Phillips. I stepped forward.
That was my fault.
Oh, yeah.
You're just a nice.
He's gonna shoot all dirty.
Okay, I like
Ladies and gentlemen, there will be an honor session taking place at the Hilo Fan Center
So you guys are here?
on the concourse.
Be interesting to see what happens.
Junior men's champion Nam Nguyen at 2:55. We would also like to remind you that the use of flash photography is forbidden during competition. It can harm the skaters.
So score to beat, 64.73, held by Kirsten Motowers and Dylan Moskovich.
Kevin, get here.
Saya teman la maison.
That too.
Love you guys.
Me just a little bit.
A second look here at some of their elements. Set up for their twist. It's amazing how they were able to get that height, that speed coming out of those connecting steps.
The way she didn't have to touch him too, like that counts. She hang on to that landing, like you could see a little bit of a stop on the landing, and then she pushed it out, so that very nice.
Now the throw. Forward lean on the landing edge.
It was just a little bit of a confidence thing, I think. Out of the two competitions this year, she missed it once. But
Richard Gauthier on the left, Bruno Marcotte on the right. Obviously very pleased with their competitors tonight.
Everybody at CP Montreal, Saint Laurent.
The scores, please, for Mylène Brodeur and John Mattertall. The short program score.
58.78.
58.78. 7-8.
58.7.
Puts them into
And Jean are currently
third position.
in third place.
Ils sont présentement en troisième place.
So the real lead is held by Kirsten Moore-Towers and Dylan Moskovich, about 5 points ahead of next closest competitors. And then there's a group of 4 teams that are all in the same place almost. So the standings after the pair short program, Moore-Towers and Moskovich in the lead, followed by Lawrence and Sweegers in second place. Then Brodeur and Matatal are in third, closely followed by Megan DeHamel and Eric Radford in fourth. Then Holden Johnson fifth, Jones and Gaskill sixth, all the way down to Purdy and Marinaro in 10th place. Program has just finished. It was a very interesting event. I'm PJ Kwong. I'm here with Jose Chouinard. So, Jose, I'm interested in your overall impression of the event before we talk specifics.
Well, it's exciting. It was really exciting. It was a great event. In first place, Moore-Towers and Moskovich with a clean skate. Not surprised, but I love their energy. They're showing some confidence. It's very promising. Paige and Rudy, youthful, charismatic. I was actually very impressed by them. I love them. I must say, like, I have a little weakness for them. Mylène Brodeur and Matatal, they showed some maturity, they showed some passion for skating, they skated pretty strong, they had a good skate with a little bit of mistakes, but overall, what an event.
I think it's an amazing event, and like we said at the very beginning, whoever skates wins. So we're going to take a little bit of a break here. Jose gets a little bit of time off because I'm all getting ready and all excited to welcome my next guest, who's going to be none other than Bryce Davison. If you want to get a hold of me or Bryce, try at SkatingPJ on Twitter or by my email, pjkwong@pjkwong.com. It's going to be a very exciting few minutes. You're not going to want to miss it.
Bryce is coming? I'm not going anywhere.
Yes, you are. So, a little bit later tonight on Bold, we have at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Pacific, the opening ceremonies, followed at 6:45 p.m., 3:45 Pacific with the dance short program, and then to cap off the evening, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, the ladies short program. We hope you'll stay tuned to Bold and on our live chat at cbcsports.ca. There's a little bit of that collision we saw earlier, some moments from our pairs event that just took place, some wonderful skating with lots more to continue. We'll be back a little bit later. Please stay tuned. Bye for now. Hi everybody, PJ Kwong here with all the action live from the 2011 BMO Canadian Figure Skating Championships. This is an outside shot of Victoria, British Columbia, where the championships are being held. Well, we have a bit of time before the opening ceremonies are going to take place, and I capitalized on that little bit of a break by inviting one of my very favorite all-time skaters to come in. Actually, they're all my favorites. I'm like a mother that way, aren't I? I'm here with Bryce Davison. Bryce, thank you so much for coming in.
It's my pleasure to be here.
Oh, you are a pet. Okay. So Bryce Davison and Jessica Dubé, 3-time national champions. They were also the 2008 World Bronze medalists. And Bryce, you're not at Canadians. Can you tell us why?
I basically have a break in the weight-bearing section of my femur.
Oh.
It happened a week before Skate Canada International this year. Recovery is going pretty well. I just started walking 2 weeks ago, but still a long way to go before I can get back on the ice.
Now, what you told me, in fact, and a little bit of gruesome detail at the challenge event, was in fact, in order to repair your knee, they had to tell me a little bit about what they did.
Basically, I have a 10-inch incision on right down the front of my knee, and they had to release all the muscles so they could get at the joint properly. I have 3 2.5-inch screws and a bone graft to hold the piece of bone that basically sloughed off and went in the other side of the joint. So that's all in there right now, and the plan is to keep the screws in and just do the recovery that way.
So your surgery took place fairly quickly after you injured yourself, and it was just one of those awkward falls, and they're often the ones that are the most tricky.
It actually wasn't a fall.
Oh.
I was skating at the Granite Club in Toronto, working with Doug Ledre, and we had a really good day. So we were doing a little bit of singles, and I had done my double axel, triple sow, and triple toe several times. Decided to try triple loop. and I popped one into a single loop, and I landed, and I just felt a kind of a tweak in my knee and tried to straighten, and I couldn't, and that was the bone being in the other side of the joint.
Oh my goodness.
I know, it's kind of graphic.
So fairly quickly thereafter, you decided to have surgery, and then the last time I saw you at the beginning of December at the Challenge event, you were getting around fairly quickly, I might add, on crutches.
Yes.
You're not here with crutches today, so tell me about your progress.
It's coming along very well. I saw Dr. Brock on Monday this week, and he said the muscle is coming along very well. The bone, because of I haven't been able to use it, it's become very weak, and I've had a lot of atrophy going on. So that's the next step, to strengthen the bone, make it thicker and stronger, and so I can avoid further breaks and stress fractures.
Now, I know that what we were talking about today, as I was trying to persuade you to come in and talk to me, was you were talking about heading to the gym. Now, were you able to work out at all while you were still on crutches, or is that, you told me you're off crutches as of 2 weeks ago. So what was your workout plan? How have you been keeping in shape?
Well, I know you can't really tell because I'm not really that big, but I've actually probably put on about 7-8 pounds of upper body muscle because that's all I could do, really. I was in the gym basically a week and a half after surgery. I've spent a lot of time in the lap pool up in Huntsville, and just trying to do whatever I can to stay in shape, and also just that's part of who I am. I enjoy the physical activity, so when you're put up on crutches, you have to find your way.
For sure. Now, if we get a chance, let's just take a little bit of a look back at the magic that is Jessica Dubé and Bryce Davison from the 2009 Nationals at Saskatoon, because we're going to talk a little bit about Canadians and about what it's like to be backstage, what is it like to be competing as an international competitor, just a little bit of the dish about what goes on, you know, in the dressing rooms even. So let's take a look at the 2009 Nationals. You were 3-time national champions. Do you remember this performance?
I do remember this performance, not bang on the particulars, but I remember skating it, that's for sure. I think it went pretty well.
What is the best thing about skating Paris as far as you're concerned?
You have another person to share your time on the ice with, and for some people that can be worse, and you like to be on, for a single skater, you like to be on the ice by yourself and just enjoy that feeling of by yourself. But with a person with you, you're always trying to act as one, and I think that's the aspect of pair that I really enjoy.
So in terms of what you were just talking about, single skating, I mean, you and Jessica continued on with your single skating. Have you been in touch with Jessica, who is getting ready to compete the women's short program this evening?
I haven't talked to her. I talked to her today on my way down. She said she had a great practice this morning, and she said she feels really confident and things have been going really well. So I'm really anxious to see how things go, and I'm excited to watch.
Now, what was your sweetest Canadians victory?
It wasn't a victory, actually. It was, there's a lot of things that go along with it. When we gained the berth into the Olympics in 2006, it was our first actual full senior national championships, and we kind of, not surprised people, but we came out and we skated a great competition, and just the feeling of the standing ovation, then getting off, and we ended up coming second. I think we may have won the long that year. I can't really remember, but you know, it was just a great feeling. And
you know what?
awesome.
I wish we could talk to you a whole lot more. We're going to be going to the opening ceremonies. You remember those opening ceremonies,
I
and
do.
that's one of the most important things that Canadians, everybody gets a chance to really know that the competition has started. We wish you continued good health, and we hope to see you back on the ice soon. Bryce Davison, thank you so much for coming in. You are a doll.
It was my pleasure.
We'll see you again soon, I hope.
Definitely.
Okay, well, keep getting better. We'll be back with lots more great skating from Victoria after this short break. Please